Aaron.
Here.
Why didn't you say it the first time I said Aaron?
Because it's pronounced Aaron?
You done messed up, Aaron!
Aaron is here. Welcome back, everybody, for more SPTV, where every day is a great day not to be in a cult. Guys, we about to have a Scientology smackdown in Clearwater, Florida. I have so much info I want to share with you this evening. I have two different calls of action. I can't decide what order to do it all in. So I kind of want to start out with the calls to action because I know people have very short attention spans. Scientology is trying to buy a street in Clearwater, Florida. There is an amazing local movement to not only keep this from happening, but to buy the street for a highest and best use. That does not involve selling it to Scientology. There is a local man by the name of Brooks Gibbs, and he and his team are spearheading a movement to buy the block of South Garden Avenue in downtown Clearwater, Florida, that the city of Clearwater has currently already voted once to sell this street to Scientology. I'm going to share a bunch of information with you. I'm going to share a video that Brooks and his team have put together. But just in the spirit of starting out with a call to action, this is Brooks, the website that Brooks and his team has set up for the project. A link to this website is in the description down below. It's called savethegarden.org. They've produced and uploaded a video to this website. I'm going to share that video with you momentarily. This website gives an entire description of the project. I'm going to share all that information with you later. I'm just showing this to you now so I can show the call of action. The call of action is, if you want to donate to financially support this project, I highly encourage you to do so, and you can do so on this website. I have more information to share with you about the finances of this project later on in the video, but I just wanted to start out with this call of action of check out the website, savethegarden.org, and donate if you can. And I'm going to explain to you the status of the finances of this project. There is also a petition on this website that you can all fill out. I've already filled out the petition myself. And the other call of action that I want to put out there right now is this call of action does not only apply to people that live in Clearwater, Florida. Neither does the call of action to support this project. This is not a political project. This project can accept donations from anyone anywhere around the world, unlike a political campaign where you cannot accept money from non-U.S. citizens. Okay, so this next call of action, again, applies to anyone in the world. But if you live in Clearwater, Florida, it might even be more important that it applies to you. And I know thousands of you locals watch this channel. And I would love for thousands of locals to take up this next call to action. There are 3 Clearwater City Council members who have shamelessly supported and promoted this proposal to sell a street to Scientology. I would like to ask all of you to email them directly. Let's see. Let me get my face out of the way here. The one council member is David Albritton. His email is right here, david.albritton@myclearwater.com. You can see the correct spelling here. You have Mike Menino, michael.menino@myclearwater.com. You can see the spelling of all that right here. And you have the #1 most shameless supporter of this project and chief ass kisser of David Miscavige, or as Ryan calls him, Daddy. His email address is ryan.cotton@myclearwater.com. I would be honored if everyone watching this video would email those 3 individuals and ask them something along the following lines. Does Scientology need to buy this portion of South Garden Avenue in order to build L. Ron Hubbard Hall? By the way, guys, the answer is no. Okay, the two council members, including the mayor of Clearwater, who have already voted no on this project, have made it very clear Scientology does not need to own this street. They do not need to buy this street in order to build the project Scientology wants to build. Okay, so but the point of asking this question is just to see what these 3 shameless promoters of the project, to see if they will be honest with you. Does Scientology need to buy this block of South Garden Avenue in order to build L. Ron Hubbard Hall? Okay, if they do not need to own it or buy it in order to build L. Ron Hubbard Hall, what is the reason David Miscavige has claimed they need to own this street? They want to buy this street. By the way, all these council members have met personally with David Miscavige. Okay, so if they had the chance to sit across the table from the big man, or as is the case, the little man, and have a conversation with him, What was the reason David Miscavige said they wanted this project, since we already wanted this street, since we already know they don't need the street? Okay. And if they don't need the street, and if you don't know why they want the street, then why are you supporting this project? And anyone who does this, takes up this call to action and sends these emails, please forward me their replies at growingupinscientology@gmail.com. Okay, so that was the call to action to donate to the project if you can, and the call to action to email the Clearwater City Council members. Later in the video, I'm going to give you the dates of the next meetings for any of you guys more local to the area. If you want to show up to the meetings and the events that are going to be happening, not only city council meetings, but other meetings related to the project, I'm going to put out that information a little later on in the video. Okay, guys, I cannot help but comment on the fact that, you know, Ryan and his team are doing this project for the community. They're doing this project for a good cause. They're not doing this project to be against anything. That's my job. I'm the one who's here to be against the Scientology aspect, to push back against Scientology fraud, Scientology abuse, Scientology destruction of families, Scientology's destruction of downtown Clearwater. That's my job. Brooks and his team are here doing it for something. And the reason I'm giving this little preamble here is because nothing would be a bigger FU to David Miscavige than for the community, and even you know, outside of the community, to gather together and help support this project and have this block of South Garden Avenue go to a project that the community actually wants, rather than a project no one in the community wants and that only benefits Scientology, which is whatever the heck Scientology plans on doing with that street. Okay, the next thing I'm going to share with you is the 11-minute, unbelievably fantastic video that Brooks and his team put together promoting this project. And have I shared it properly? Check volume. Here we go.
I've got friends and family that are vehemently opposed to this.
I've been called many things, but weak is not one of them.
I'm sure I'm probably hurting a lot of feelings.
You're seeing debate, uncomfortable debate in a very challenging situation in our community. Look what we got. You're all complaining about it. We have nothing.
Hi there, I'm Brooks Gibbs, a resident of Clearwater, Florida. What you just saw was the city council arguing over a controversial plan that involves the Church of Scientology. I was in that room that day, and it was packed with people who were against the city selling more property to the church that already owns most of downtown. The entire room was heated.
Vacant storefronts downtown, a lack of mom and pop shops. Those are just a few of the concerns that citizens brought up tonight at a Clearwater City Council meeting. They were there, though, to talk about one thing mainly. They were speaking out against the city possibly selling a public street to the Church of Scientology. Fox 13's Brianna Arredondo takes us to that meeting.
The city held a public hearing Thursday night on selling South Garden Avenue between Court Street and Franklin Street to the Church of Scientology for $1.375 million. The church expressed to the city that they want to close that street, but dozens of residents packed the council chambers arguing against the sale. They say the church owning more property contributes to the dwindling businesses downtown.
But the sale doesn't reflect community need. It reflects the wants of a powerful organization that already controls too much of our city center. We deserve better.
Because if we lose this piece of city in silence, we lose the rest of it the same way, like we have been losing it.
Once again, Scientology wants to take another piece of Clearwater, as if they don't have enough already, and bring it under their control.
So how did this street come up for sale? Well, I'll tell you. David Miscavige, the leader of Scientology, negotiated with the city of Clearwater to purchase Garden Avenue. This street is in front of their flagged building. Through strategic negotiations over the last year, Miscavige secured the 3 votes that he needed from the city council to push the sale through. None of this was public knowledge. As required by law, the city had to make a public announcement about the sale of the property and invite competing proposals before the sale was final. But here's the problem. The city did not post a sign on the actual property, nor did they post anything about it on their website. Instead, they posted the announcement in a Tampa newspaper, which requires a subscription to access. Therefore, most Clearwater residents were completely unaware. Now, this strategy of buying up properties outside the public knowledge is exactly how Scientology and their partners have secretly secured over 75% of downtown Clearwater, leaving most of the properties empty and undeveloped. Just days before a vote was about to take place, my friends and I became aware of this transaction and rallied together to design an alternative proposal. We wanted the property to be something that all of Clearwater could use, and our design kept the street intact, but added a very special memorial park, a place for us to remember what Clearwater used to be, a memorial garden on Garden Avenue, a symbolic stake in the ground stating that this is our land too. With only 1 hour left before the deadline, I personally delivered this proposal to the city manager. And this is what happened.
I'm Kelly Meyer. I apologize. We're unclear of the procedures and just wanted to make everyone aware, if you're not, that there's an alternative proposal, but we're not sure when in the process we'll be able to present that alternative.
If there's no objection, I think we go ahead and if someone has a proposal to present, I think we should go ahead and, any objection from any of the council members? So, Kelly, whoever has the proposal, would you like to present it now?
Hey, thank you for your service. I'm Brooks Gibbs, a Clearwater resident. March 17th, there was a woman by the name of Miss Barbara Love. She runs the a wonderful little organization called the Clearwater African American Foundation. And she had said, and made it into the paper, and that's how I heard about it, that she would love to see the city dedicate some space to honor the African American heritage that's there.
My name is Barbara Love, and I know many of you on this. And I'm here speaking on behalf of the Clearwater African American Foundation. And our purpose and our mission is to honor, promote, memorialize African American landmarks, foundations, and land sites. Back in the day, Garden Avenue was one of 3 major African American communities here in Clearwater.
There's this forgotten area that no one seems to talk about called the Garden.
Right.
And here we are on the Garden Avenue.
Right.
And if you just continued up the street, there was a vibrant Black community that not only lived, but worked and operated and helped really be the founding fathers and mothers of what we know as Clearwater today. Why is this spot so important?
Garden Avenue is the 3rd community that is basically erased, the original Garden Avenue.
I see something happening here for the Clearwater citizens, that there's a Church of Scientology that is literally doing the same thing, taking over now 75% of the properties here in downtown, over $1 billion of holdings, and it's not what the city used to be.
It will be an honor to really look at what can you do in the reimagining of Clearwater's African American history and memorialize the African American presence that was once thriving on Garden Avenue.
To me, it would be better suited in another location, not this location.
You know, why are we not doing this in the Greenwood area? You know, that seems like it's the optimal place to put it.
My son, who's 18 years old, became enraged because he says, this is modern day segregation.
Absolutely.
Are we saying that the African American community who worked here, who lived here, who had literally a community called The Garden on Garden Avenue, have no stake or claim to this property anymore? How does it feel when you hear council people, the members of the council, say such a thing and say, we'll give you your park, but you got to have it across town where it's impoverished?
Well, what I will say to the council persons who said that You don't know the history of Clearwater. You don't know the history of Garden Avenue. All we have left mostly is our memories. I don't think that is asking too much for people that has been here over 200 years in Clearwater.
You know, I was blindsided by this an hour and a half, well, now 4 hours ago. I haven't seen this before, so, you know, but as far as the city attorney says, they got it in on time, right? They got it in today. So my 30-day extension is for this, to get more information on this, and then maybe we have that as an agenda item, we talk about it, vote it up or down.
It is just giving the citizens a chance to respond, and I want to do that respectfully.
The motion is to postpone for 30 days, at least 30 days to the next meeting, which would be May 15th.
Make it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
We were thrilled that the city council delayed the decision to sell the street to Scientology and give us a chance to improve our proposal, negotiate with the city, and rally thousands of supporters who want to see us win. This is the first time in years that someone has been able to challenge Scientology's dominance. The odds of winning, of course, are against us, but with your help, I believe we can win. All we need is 3 votes to save the garden.
What you could do for the Black community, what you could do for the city of Clearwater, it's a win-win situation. And if it's money, we can raise that money.
I think we can stand in solidarity using this piece of property as symbolism to say, you know what, no, it's not okay. Just because you have money, just because you have political influence, doesn't mean you can erase our history. So don't you see this as a united effort to be a symbolic picture of Clearwater is not going to give up every inch of its territory?
I agree with you. Garden Avenue is David. And we know the story of David. David slew the giant. Now you're feeling what African Americans felt when we first came to Florida or Clearwater, and we were thriving and vibrant, and then we were being pushed out. And now it seems like
Oops, I muted myself. Okay, all right. What a fantastic video that was. You know, some of the segments that Brooks included in that video was from a very contentious Clearwater City Council meeting a couple weeks ago, where this issue was coming up for a vote for a second time. And I know most of you guys watching have probably already seen this, but I want to show you my brief 3-minute speech, because the information that I gave in my speech at the City Council is information you may want to include in your emails to the city council members. And by the way, did you notice that based on the information Brooks just shared in that video, that 2 of the Clearwater City Council members wouldn't even vote to approve to postpone the vote so that Brooks and his team could have more time to put their full proposal together. Luckily, Brooks only needed 3 yes votes in order to delay the vote. But Ryan Cotton and Michael Menino couldn't even bring themselves to say, yeah, you know what? Let's table this issue so that we can get another proposal. Ryan Cotton and Michael Menino are so personally invested in in selling a street to Scientology that it ought to be investigated, at least by the citizens of Clearwater. So when you send your emails to the city council members, the information that I gave in this speech might be helpful. But you make up your own mind about that. Here it is. This is only 3 minutes. Very, very quick.
I think everyone watching these proceedings is somewhat surprised to watch in real time while the biggest cheerleader of this project in the council, Ryan Cotton, just found out tonight that Scientology is not even paying this $1.3 million for another 6 years. That is unbelievable. I have seen your email responses to some of the citizens that have emailed you their concerns about this, and you are suspiciously in favor of this project, a project that no one in Clearwater wants. Scientologists are less than 2% of the population. There's about 1,500 Sea Org members. There's about 1,000 public Scientologists. In all of Tampa Bay, you couldn't scrape up 4,000 Scientologists, but you're running around like building L. Ron Hubbard Hall is going to save downtown Clearwater. Ryan, it doesn't make any sense what you are out there doing. Mayor Bruce Rector, thanks for voting no on this. Lena?
Yeah.
At one of the recent hearings, the mayor of Clearwater said he is still not even clear why Scientology wants this street. How can 3 council members be voting yes when the mayor isn't even clear why Scientology wants the street? And you've both, Lena and Bruce, you have both already made it clear. You already know they don't need the street. Not selling them this street does not prevent them from building LRH Hall. It's got nothing to do with it. So why do they want it? I truly agree with Mark Bunker. They want it so that protesters can't stand on the sidewalks in front of LRH Hall. Ryan, you talk about treating Scientologists like any other member of the community. Is there any other church in this community that has gone to war and tried to sabotage the development of downtown Clearwater? So whereas Scientologists should be treated with the same respect and the same rights as all other members of this community, the Church of Scientology is not just another member of this community. It is a toxic, dangerous, and destructive force, and everyone who spent any amount of time downtown understands this. But for some reason, you like their shiny video. It's truly incredible. You talk about the construction benefits of LRH Hall. That's a one-time benefit. Whatever economic trickle-down effect there is, that's a one-time benefit. You seem to be under the impression that building LRH Hall brings more Scientologists to Clearwater. Do you not understand the role of the flag land base in the greater world of Scientology? Every Scientologist who's going to come to Clearwater already comes to Clearwater. Believe me, LRH Hall changes absolutely nothing. Scientologists don't even use Scientology's properties that are so-called open to the public. The park where the Checkers used to be. Have any of you ever seen a single Scientologist in that park? Nope. I haven't. The gorgeous park next to the Fort Harrison Hotel. It's beautiful. Have you ever seen a single Scientologist in there? No. If the Scientologists won't even use these properties, what do you think the people of Clearwater are going to do?
Thank you, sir.
Okay, good. The fact that Scientology, I was not exaggerating at all. Scientologists do not even use some of these beautiful public parks that Scientology has created on lots that they own. They buy lots. If they buy a building, they'll buy a building, they'll renovate it, they'll leave it empty. You go, why did they buy the building? Just so nobody else could. They bought an old Checkers location. A Checkers is like, it's like an In-N-Out. And they bulldozed it and they turned it into a park. Why? So nobody else could do anything with that property. That Checkers location sat catty corner to David Miscavige's office in downtown Clearwater. And Miscavige would be working late at night and he was sick of hearing the noise at the Checkers. So they bought the damn thing and turned it into a parking lot. Okay. Right next to the Fort Harrison Hotel is this, it's unbelievably gorgeous outside park. It's got, these horseshoe shaped pergolas. It's got flowers and jasmine and roses. It's got a freaking water fountain. It's got a courtyard. Never seen a single Scientologist in it. A Scientologist wouldn't be caught dead slacking off in a park next to a Scientology organization. And it's it's an interesting point. If Scientologists don't even use these properties that they buy, what are the people in Clearwater going to do? Why continue to sell them public land? By the way, the website that I shared with you earlier in the video, savethegarden.org, has the Brooks's video. It links to the YouTube video. They encourage everyone to download the video and post it on your own socials. It's okay. You can do whatever you want with the video. I would like to read to you some text messages that I had with Brooke today, just as I was getting ready for this video. This is about the finances of the project with Brooks. I said, Brooks, I'm getting ready to record a video to promote the Save the Garden project. I want to encourage people to donate to the cause. What can I tell them happens to the donations if the city of Clearwater does not accept your proposal to buy the street? Here was Brooks's response. He says, our cost to create the proposal that rivals Scientology's proposal is $25,000 with the 3D renderings. We also hired a land use attorney, which is an additional $15,000. We hired a publicist to get the word out, who will be starting next week. That is $10,000. Our budget just to get our proposal submitted is $50,000. We have not gotten, okay, it says we've raised $4,500 so far. By the way, it's not like there's the buying the street itself is like $1.3 million. He's just explaining to me the startup finances of this project for right now. Okay, he says, in the event that the city says yes, we will set up an escrow account under a nonprofit fiscal sponsor, and we will raise conditional funds, $2 million within the 6-month period. Those funds will go straight to the city of Clearwater. However, if the city does not go through with the sale for some reason, the escrow will return the donations to the donors. So this is a 2-part raise. The pre-approval is the small fundraising with no return. That's the $50,000. The post-approval is the large fundraising with a return. That's the $2 million. So he goes, so I would say this is phase 1. Yes, this is phase 1. So we have to get a legitimate proposal submitted. People should donate what they are comfortable donating. I'll be happy, guys, if we can raise $10,000 with this effort. I'll be happy with $10,000. And then there's going to be other promotional activities occurring locally in Tampa Bay. So, guys, here's an important date. If anyone local to Tampa Bay wants to come down and support this project and meet Brooks, I'll be down there as well. I think I can speak for the rest of the Clearwater crew. We will all try to be there next Thursday night at Nash Keys on Cleveland Street. We are going to have a huge party, and all of the proceeds will go to support the project. It will start at 6 p.m. Nash Keys, downtown Clearwater, next Thursday. Let me give you guys an actual date. What is the date of next Thursday? That is April 24th. Be there or be square. That should be a lot of fun. Okay, second date, April 29th, 5:30 p.m., Clearwater City Council Town Hall. Brooks says we need people to show up and show support for the project. So that's another one for the calendar. Third date, May 10th, 10 a.m., we're having a Save the Garden rally on South Garden Avenue in front of Scientology's flag building. We will be shutting down the street for this event. Fantastic. Fourth date, May 15th, 6 p.m., will be the city council vote. Brooks says he's going to put these dates up on the website soon. Okay, by the way, also, everyone working on this project, other than obviously the architects and whatever. Well, let me just read what he says. We are all a group of friends volunteering our time and talent to install this memorial garden. No one on our team is being paid. Okay. These guys are doing this out of the goodness of their heart to do what is truly best for the city of Clearwater and the people of Clearwater. And yes. And then he says, he says this, we are using a 100% historically accurate narrative to describe this project. During the era of segregation, Garden Avenue became more than just the economic center of Clearwater's Black community. It quietly stood as a symbol of cooperation between the Black and white residents. While laws kept people apart in public, behind the scenes, there was a shared reliance. Black-owned barbershops, cafes, and businesses along Garden Avenue often served both Black and white customers, and many white business owners downtown depended on the skills, services, and labor of their Black neighbors. Though unequal by law, these quiet exchanges reveal a deeper story of mutual respect, resourcefulness, and resilience, one that helps sustain the city through a divided time. The garden on South Garden Avenue stands as a living tribute to the quiet cooperation between Black and white citizens who, despite the barriers of segregation, worked together to build the foundation of downtown Clearwater. Our first museum multimedia installation, The story of Clearwater in black and white leads this walking tour and reveals how shared labor, mutual reliance, and unspoken partnerships helped shape a thriving and resilient city. Now, wouldn't a park and a memorial honoring that be better than selling a street to Scientology so that they can close it down for their own use and prevent anyone else from using it? I mean, honestly, it's just a crime against the citizens of Clearwater that Michael Menino and Ryan Cotton couldn't even vote to postpone the vote so that this project had the time that they needed to submit a full 5-star, gold rated proposal. It's truly disgusting. I mean, oh God, it makes me so mad. He's so mad. That's why I want thousands of emails flooding into Michael Menino and Ryan Cotton, especially, but also David Albritton. What are you thinking? Why are you supporting this project? If Scientology doesn't need the street to build L. Ron Hubbard Way, why do they want it? Do you know why they want it? If you don't know why they want it, why are you supporting the project? Oh, my goodness. Okay, let me go through my notes. Is there any other points that I wanted to hit here? Hit that. What I want to do, my hope, my goal, I don't want to let these 3 council members get away with pushing this project through without humiliating them utterly as much as humanly possible in the process. If they're going to go down this path, they're going to go down this path despite the social and political cost. Okay. And the more ground roots, is it grassroots? Grassroots, groundswell, grassroots support that the city of Clearwater, the citizens of Clearwater can show for this project, but also all over the country and even all over the world, to give this project as much support and as much chance of succeeding and passing as possible, and to give as much public exposure and humiliation to the elected officials who would rather do what's best for David Miscavige than what is best for the citizens of Clearwater. I want there to be a cost. I want there to be a social and political cost to Michael Menino and Ryan Cotton, especially, but also David Albritton, for so obviously being in the bag for David Miscavige. You don't do that in this city without a significant cost. Okay, here's some starred comments and we'll wrap this one up. Marilyn Honig, Ryan Cotton, clown, little Rodney, little Davy. I assume those were emojis that for some reason StreamYard is communicating in text. Oh my God. Okay, Cece, can local residents show up to a city council meeting and speak out against it? Yes, Cece, that's one of the dates that I just gave. Russ, I'm hot. Russ, I'm right here, Dad. Can't someone have a lawyer file an injunction on the sale of this street so other entities can bid on this? No, it's beyond that point. Legally, it's beyond that point. Right now, it's between Scientology and Brooks Group. No other offers are being entertained. And honestly, who else is going to come up with a couple $1 million to buy this street? You know what I'm saying? Constance says, my guess is Ryan Cotton wants to feel important, and getting meetings with David makes him feel important. I think you're pretty much hit the nail right on the head there. Ingrid, I wonder if notifications to the NABJ, National Association of Black Journalists, maybe I will try and contact them, especially because of the historical. I get your point, Ingrid. I think that's a good idea. Harry Reeves, how do you know that Scientology is lying? Someone's lips are moving and sound is being heard. Lurker Queen, good to see you. Wow, welcome from Bulgaria, Lurker Queen. Glad you're catching alive. Seems like it's been over a year. Analytical Blarney, on top of the street situation, I remember when you were in New York City with Cubs and him showing you a website about a future building, I think in Boston. Anything we can do about that not happening? No, I think Boston already owns that building, and he was just showing me the space plans of what they're planning on doing there. Bronacy, not all heroes wear capes. I mean, Brooks and his team are definitely the heroes here, that's for sure. Church of Satiretology, we wonder what the officials are personally gaining out of this deal to go to these lengths to avoid residents finding out, unless Dave threatened to fair game them. Yeah, I know. I don't know, man. Linda Lou, is this playing on various screens throughout Clearwater? Well, it's playing on screens like phones and computers, people who are watching YouTube, people who are watching the website. And that's why Brooks and his team would like as many people to download and publish and share that video as possible to as many platforms as possible. We can help make that happen. Lily says, I totally agree with the modern day segregation statement. Yes, I thought that was pretty powerful. The journey, the private meetings for the city are so slimy. All needs to be open for the city. Lynn Campbell, just say no to Scientology. The bipolar astrophotographer, this gave me chills. What a beautiful video for such an amazing cause. Sandy McHugh, that video needs to be shared heavily in the local area. Absolutely, guys, for all you people in Clearwater and even the surrounding neighborhoods who watch, please do put it on Facebook, put it on Instagram, put it on Twitter, put it in your group chats, whatever you got. Let's try to get the word out as far and wide as we can. Lemuel Heath. There needs to be a bigger push for different politicians to represent Clearwater. Yep. Relative time works. I know this sounds like a naive question, but how have the citizens of Clearwater allowed this to get to this point? 75% of downtown taken over. How much tax revenue is being lost by vacancies? It's a really good question. Here's the answer. Buying property is not a political or social issue, meaning there's no way to politically or socially on a community basis intervene in the purchase and sale of private property. So about $100 to $200 million of the property Scientology has purchased over the last 5 years, they basically went to property owners for properties that were not on the market, owners who were not selling, and offered them as much as 5 to 6 times market value cash for their properties. At no point does that have to get approved by the city council. At no point can a member of the public intervene in a sale like that. They're private purchases. I think Scientology pays tax on about 20% of its properties. They have to pay tax on the restaurants and the hotels because that's not religious purpose. And even though they are tax exempt for about 70 to 80% of the properties, they're still by far the largest taxpayer in downtown Clearwater. That just shows you how much property they own compared to the total property in downtown Clearwater. Lemuel Heath, Aaron, you really should consider a run for mayor. That will not be happening, but I thank you. Jeb True Luck, the video was so moving. I got goosebumps. You go, Aaron. Well, you go, Brooks. Brooks and his team put that together, but thank you. I get your point. Rochelle, Ryan is such a schmuck. Little Rodney, little Rodney, little Rodney. I don't know why it's not showing me emojis in StreamYard. Maybe there's a little bit of an error. Living the dream. You could make a QR code for the video and use it during protesting to get the info out there. Living the dream. That is brilliant. In fact, it is so brilliant. Erica already thought of it. And she put the QR code on her sign as of last week. And I think she decided it was too small and she made an even bigger sign. But yeah, we can, it's a great idea. And that's what Erica has done. Melissa R., the tantrum that Ryan Cotton threw in that meeting definitely gives off to me. And gives off. Okay, that's the way the kids speak these days. And my opinion, and my opinion only is that he's getting a big payout from Scientology. Vegan 3, do you know Royce Chamberlain, or is it Hoyce Chamberlain? Someone on Blue Sky shows him in Clearwater and being now hired for the Department of Defense. I have no idea who that is, but thank you. Rochelle, I hope he likes Brooks' shiny video too. No, apparently Ryan Cotton does not like Brooks' shiny video. Lisa Marchbanks, good to see you. Your speech was filled with so much punch. Go Aaron, boo Scientology, checkers rocks. Janet Burns, Ryan and his stepfather. It is actually his father-in-law. I realized I found out, I verified stepfather is incorrect. It is his father-in-law. Ryan and his father-in-law, David Albritton, should be investigated. They are so determined to get this through. They will have to give the brown envelopes back if this sale doesn't go through. Sharona, this is so important, especially because this project will represent the original group of people who had gotten run out of downtown Clearwater. And Angel of Thunder, I hope victims from Florida come forward to expose their crap trying to replace city parks. Brian Lucas, I'm from Arkansas, and when I hear of a politician with the last name of Cotton and that they are corrupt, well, this is my shocked face. Sandy McKenna, great to see you. Great cities protect their stories. Let's save this one right here in Clearwater for community, for culture, for connection. Save the garden. A bipolar astrophotographer, it is so far beyond frustrating that some people in a position of power only serve to insist on taking the citizens' power away. Sandy McKenna, we are not anti-progress. We're anti-erasing history for a quick buck. Save the garden. Pat O says, can you go over those dates and times again? No, but I will post them in a pinned comment on this video. That's what the rewind button is for. Rochelle, I think Mark Bunker should run for city council again. Well, I hope he does run for city council again. And if he does, I think he'll have even more support than last time. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you, as always, to everyone who watches until the very end. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay, if you want to see my rock and roll songs, click right on this guitar. And if you want to see a different one of my videos, then you could click